Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have more battles for you today in the Open Great League, and these are battles that I did, and I did really well. I climbed almost 100 points with this team. Now, to be fair, I am pretty low. I was in the 2000s. I'm currently in the 2100s, but I'm moving on up, and the team is going to be Galarian, Stunfisk with Sableye and Medicham. So, of course, the backline really not going to appreciate fairy types, especially Charm users, but Galarian Stunfisk is going to resist that. So, pretty strong team. So, I am going up against a Charizard right now. And I'm going to be able to throw the rock slide. Definitely expecting the shield there. I'm going to shield this because the Blast Burn would KO. I figured they would bait initially, but it's kind of risky not to shield it, you know. So I do overfarm, and unfortunately they make a really good catch into Barbarical. So really nice catch. But I'm going to be able to switch in my Medicham and go for the farm down. So this way, if that Charizard comes in, I could just throw like a Psychic at it and KO it, right? So Stone Edge is coming out. I do resist that, no problem. I'm going to be able to farm down. I do have a lot of energy with my Medicham, but a Galvantula is coming in. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Psychic right now, doing a tremendous amount of damage. And I want to get this off, but I cannot get it off. And this is going to KO me. I'm actually glad I didn't get that off, to be honest, because the Charizard could have farmed me down if I did. So I bring in my Galarian Stunfisk. They switch in with an attack, and I was a little bit concerned now because I thought Charizard would be able to make it to a Blast Burn against my Sableye before I make it to a Foul Play, and when they CMP tie me, I was like, yep, I lose. This is a Blast Burn. Luckily for me, it's just a Dragon Claw, so I'm going to be able to get off this Foul Play. This Charizard really putting on the pressure. But I do KO them, and, you know, I was keeping track of the Galvantula. I knew they needed that Volt Switch, and then they would have been at the move, but I do farm them down in time. Good game. I'm moving on, Galarian Stunfisk into Azu. Okay, the whole team kind of... I mean, the whole team has play against it, but it's kind of like an issue because, like, Azu can have a super effective attack towards everything, right? Hydro Pump and then Play Rough for the back Pokemon. You never know what moveset it's going to have. So, you know, I just decided to stay in. I'm going to go ahead and shield. In case it is a Hydro Pump, it's just going to be an Ice Beam. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have Hydro Pump. They could have baited. So I'm going to go ahead and bait right now into this Sableye. And I do pick up the shield, which is really good. My opponent does go ahead and throw an attack. I let this go. I do know I survive it. And I will be able to reach this Earthquake. So what I want to do is get off this Earthquake and then switch into my Sableye and maybe go for a fun down if they let this go, and they do let it go. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Sableye. I know my opponent will reach an attack. I'm going to let it go. I do survive it. And yeah, so I do survive it, and I'm going to be able to farm down. Galarian Stunfisk is coming in. My opponent makes an attempted catch onto the Foul Play, but luckily for me, I don't throw, so once I see the Azu come in, I throw the return. Doesn't KO, but I can farm down. No, they do get to an attack, but this is totally fine because I do have the Medicham. So I'm just going to let this go and then bring in the Medicham, and the Medicham is going to be able to handle this Galarian Stunfisk. Good game, well played to my opponent, and I'm going to be able to take that one. Okay, moving on, I do have my Galarian Stunfisk into Medicham. Definitely a tough lead. I gotta pivot out into my own Medicham. Out comes Noctowl. I remember this battle, so this is awesome. So I am counting, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Ice Punch. This is not the worst matchup in the world for Medicham. I mean, Medicham does have play. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this one. Thanks to the Ice Punch, right? Super effective, count as a neutral. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this attack right now into the Noctowl, which will be enough to KO or pick up a shield from the opponent, and my opponent does go ahead and shield it. I'm going to go ahead and shield this attack. So, you know, again, I'm keeping track. I know it's 6-6-5. I knew they were going to get to it. I could have thrown the Ice Punch. I don't know why I didn't. Because I knew they got to it there, so I could have thrown the Ice Punch a turn before and at least forced the shield. I wouldn't have been able to win switch, but I would have gotten the final shield, which would have been good for me. I don't know why I didn't, but it is what it is, right? But either way, I could bring in my Galarian Stunfisk and farm down a lot. I know the Medicham is coming in, and this Earthquake will still do a lot to the Medicham. I'm hoping Sableye beats whatever's in the back. Would have been nice to get that final shield, though. Out comes Registeel. Not the worst matchup in the world. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Foul Play right now. And that Foul Play will connect. Okay, basically hoping that I don't get debuffed. I know a Zap Cannon is not enough to KO me, and Zap Cannon is coming out. They can't lock on me down. No debuff. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Foul Play right now. If they let this go, I could farm down with my Sableye, and they actually do let it go. I thought they were going to shield that, but no, they actually let that go, so I do farm down. And out comes Medicham. Now I know they have to shield this attack, right? Because if they don't, this will be enough to KO. And I bring in my Galarian Stunfisk. I knew Rock Slide wouldn't KO from this range, so I'm going for that Earthquake. Absolutely going for it. It's a power-up punch, and I do get to the Earthquake, but they do get to an attack. Now I kind of lost count of energy. If it's a power punch, it will not KO. Ice punch will not KO. I survive it, and I get off the Earthquake, so I still take this game. So again, should have gotten the second shield from my opponent against that Noctowl with the Medicham. I knew the energy they were at. I knew the counts. I don't know why I didn't do it. What can I say? But good game, well played. Moving on. Okay. Tough matchup. I'm going to go ahead and save swap into my Sableye right now. I'm going to go ahead and overfarm, see if they want to catch. They don't, so I do go ahead and throw this Foul Play. I'll take the damage onto this Swampert just because, obviously, Stunfisk hates Swampert. So I'm going to go ahead and shield. It is an Earthquake, so that's a really good shield by me. So I am going for that farm down. They do get to an attack, but the good thing is I know it's just the Hydro Cannon, and I know I survive it. So I'm going to be able to take this matchup. It cost me a shield, but it's worth it. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Foul Play because I figure I could get to a second Foul Play. And they do shield it, and I am barely able to get to it, but they actually throw. So, you know what? Can't get it off, but at least I got the energy from them, so it was worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and definitely bring in my Galarian Stunfisk. I could take a Weather Ball. I just want to get the damage off against this Pelipper. And yeah, I knew they were going to get there. So they do go ahead and throw the attack. That's fine. I could take it. I could actually take another one, but maybe they could wing attack me down afterwards. But regardless, I do get off this Rock Slide, which is really good for me. Hoping that Medicham could beat whatever's in the back. Maybe it's a Steel type. Maybe it's an Ice type. I'm going to go ahead and take this attack, and they actually snipe me with their own Medicham, which is kind of what I thought would happen, but either way, nice play. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this, and it is, in fact, a Psychic, so that is a really good shield from me. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the Ice Punch, hoping that they would do the same and shield this, but they actually don't shield, which, not ideal. So I'm going to go ahead and throw another Ice Punch, thinking, well, if they don't shield this, it's going to KO. And they actually don't shield it. OMG, they actually call it. So, not great. I do get hit with this Psychic. But I'm able to farm down before they get off an Ice Punch or an attack, which is huge. And now I charge up to 2 Ice Punch attacks. One will get the shield, the other will KO, as long as they do not have an attack, and they do not. So I'm going to be able to take out this Pelipper and win that game. Bad lead for me. Still going to be able to overcome it. Good game. Well played to my opponent. Definitely a tough one. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Galarian Stunfisk into Araquanid. Okay, this is a good matchup. Because I resist the bug attacks, right? Bubble Beam is super effective, but not a big deal. They bring in Quagsire. I bait here. Definitely questionable. Like, I should have went straight Earthquake. And then I bring in my Sableye, which I think is fine. But yeah, I should have went straight Earthquake there. I don't know why I baited. I'm actually going to bait again with this Sableye. And they're actually not going to shield, and a return would have KO'd. So... again, I'm not going to get the shield here. I don't think this bait was that bad, but still, I mean, obviously the return would have been nice. So, the bait with this Galarian Stunfisk is definitely questionable. I shouldn't have baited that, but I did. So either way, out comes Araquanid. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this attack right now, just to get some damage. I think I might be able to make it to another one trying. Yes, I do make it to another one. Absolutely love to see it. So I do get this into the Araquanid. I do not expect the shield, because they know I have Galarian Stunfisk in the back. Now, I am weak to Bubble Beam, but Bubble Beam's a weak move. The only thing is, it is going to debuff me. It's not going to do a crazy amount of damage, but it will debuff me. I was thinking, can I actually farm this down? But no, especially after the debuffs. It would be very, I would have to shield Bubble Beams if I want to, if I want to farm this down. So I'm not going to be able to. So I'm going to charge up and throw the Rock Slide. I don't anticipate a shield, but they actually do shield. That tells me maybe there's a Bastiodon in the back. That's what I was thinking at the time, because they're shielding that. Obviously, there's no fighter, right? So I'm going to go ahead and throw an attack right now. And that's going to be enough to KO, but it's actually double bug. It's actually a Galvantula. So that makes sense as well. I just wasn't thinking of Galvantula. So I'm going to go ahead and take this lunge right now. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this Ice Punch, hoping to pick up my opponent's final shield, and they do shield that, so that's good. And they let me get to the Psychic. I was surprised they didn't throw an attack like a lunge. Like, this will be enough to KO. Were they going for the farm down? I don't know, because, like, if they debuffed me, well, I could have shielded, got off the Psychic, but either way, good game. Galarian Stunfisk into Galarian Stunfisk. Okay, the mirror match, your favorite matchup, right? So it could go either way. You could bait, you could go straight Earthquake. They could bait, they could go straight Earthquake. I'm just going to go ahead and let this go. One of the reasons is because I knew I would survive an Earthquake. I don't want to take an Earthquake, but I also don't want to shield the Rock Slide. And they do actually bait, which is great for me. And they actually call this, which is beautiful. So it works out amazing for me. Out comes Pelipper. I'm going to go ahead and get off this Rock Slide. Super effective damage. I don't have to worry about that Galarian Stunfisk anymore. Well, I have to worry about it for a catch, I guess. But other than that, I do bring in Sableye right now. Medicham for sure wants to avoid the Pelipper. Weather Ball is going to go ahead and connect. I'm going to go ahead and just throw my Foul Play. They know this is a Foul Play. I don't anticipate a shield, but I'll just go ahead and get it off. I don't even care about losing this matchup because, I mean, again, I don't have to worry about the Stunfisk outside of a possible catch. So I do actually lose the matchup, but that's fine. I bring in the Medicham because I knew they were out of Weather Ball, and I'd rather have the Medicham take the Weather Ball than the Stunfisk. So I'm going to go ahead and take it with that. And my opponent just concedes. So I'm going to be able to take that game. Good game. Don't know what was in the back, but I was in a pretty good spot. Moving on. Okay, Nidoqueen in the lead. Okay. Looking pretty good for me. They do switch into Snorlax. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Medicham right now. I'm just going to go ahead and go straight Psychic. This will KO. If they shield it, I'll take the shield, right? And they do actually shield it. So, yeah, at this point in time, I'm going to shield this in case it's something crazy like an Earthquake or a Skull Bash. I don't even know if they charged up for it, but it's not. It's a Body Sim. So I can shield one and take one and from down. So I'm going to be able to do just that. And we're tied on shields now. Out comes Meganium. So I throw Ice Punch. I think Psychic would have done more damage. So even though Ice Punch is super effective damage, let me know if I'm wrong about that. But either way, I do get that Ice Punch off. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Sableye. I think what I wanted to do was maybe see if I can get the 2 Ice Punches with Medicham, but I wasn't able to. I didn't think I would be able to. So out comes Nidoqueen. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Galarian Stunfisk. So this is actually a pretty close one. So I'm going to let the first one go through. Why am I going to let the first one go through? Well, if it's a Poison Fang and I shield that, the next Earthquake will KO me. Whereas I know the first Earth Power. I know the first Earth Power I will survive, even though it will do a lot. So it happens to be the Earth Power, but that's why I didn't shield it. I have this one I have to shield because I do have to get to an Earthquake. Because again, like if that was the Earth Power after the Poison Fang, it would have been enough to KO me. And now I'm going to be able to get off this Earthquake, which is really good for me. And now out comes that Meganium, and I have a Foul Play loaded with my Sableye, so I'm going to be able to take this game. So good game, well played to my opponent, and a little bit of lag here. They may have backed out. I don't know. Sometimes when that happens, that means that you force quit. I'm not really sure if that's what happened. But either way, I do take the win there, and that is going to be a great game. And yeah, I mean, I did really well. Here's, I guess, part of a 5-0. But yeah, I did really well with this team. Climbed, I think, 97 points, and I only used this team for 3 sets, so I'll probably try it again, but we'll see. Again, I am relatively low. I'm in the 2100s right now, so we'll see if we can continue to climb. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.